Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mr. Fincham's Fireside Follow-Alongs. Today we are going to be starting a new book, Beyond the Horizon. Now, before we get into this book, let's talk a little bit about what a horizon is. This is a picture of a horizon. This is it. The straight line that goes across horizontally is the horizon. As far as the eye can see, that goes flat. That's the horizon. So what's beyond the horizon? We don't know. So we're going to be starting off on Beyond the Horizon. And before we jump into this book, as always, we are going to be reviewing the questions that are associated with the text. So, question 1. What different feelings do Sarah and her father have about India? Let's look for evidence that helps the reader identify these feelings. On page 6, Sarah's father says that India is no place for a girl. What other evidence can you find? So, it's a two-part question. Sarah and her father have feelings about India. What different feelings do they have? And then show me evidence in the text where it says so. And the second one, the text-to-self connection. If one of your parents was leaving to go somewhere for a very long time, how would you feel? Would you feel brave enough to sneak out of your home and follow them? Write a creative paragraph or two about how the story would start and be sure to use sensory details. How do you feel as you are sneaking away? Where is the setting? Will it be dangerous? So you're writing a narrative story about your parents or your guardians, grandparents, whoever it is that you live with. They're leaving for a long time. And maybe you sneak out and follow them, or sneak out and do something different while they're gone. What is it that you do? How do you feel while you're doing it? Where is the setting? Is it dangerous? And remember, sensory details. What is your character seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, hearing? Those 5 senses, sensory details. If you are going to tell me that your character is scared, don't just say, my character's scared, or this person is scared. Show me. Show the reader. What does it look like when someone is scared? Okay, sensory details. And the last one. How do the actions of Sarah and her father show their different feelings? So, again, instead of just telling the reader how they feel, the author has the characters show how they feel. Instead of, if I'm writing a story, I don't want to just tell the reader, and my character, John, is mad. I don't want to say that. I want to say John, threw his book on the floor and clenched his fists. That shows the reader that he's angry instead of telling them, which is one thing that good authors do. And there is a video about a 16th century Spanish pirate ship that is on our Extra ELA videos section of our YouTube channel. And as always, these questions are on the ELA questions and tasks section of your newsletter. So without further ado, let's begin Beyond the Horizon. Chapter 1. How long before you sail? Sarah asked, dropping her eyes to the ground. She could feel the stare of the coachman, Henry, who sat at the front of her father's carriage, the faint shade of a smile on his lips. She could hear the impatient jangle of the reins on the horse's harness as she fixed her eyes on her father, dressed in his captain's uniform. Henry could feel the tension in the air and busied himself securing Sarah's father's traveling chest to the top of the carriage. 3 or 4 days, if conditions favor us, her father said, glancing at the treetops bending in the wind. So here's a picture of Sarah, and her father is going away on a journey, and here is his carriage in the back. And so let's take a look at this first paragraph here, thinking about sensory details. First, how do you think Sarah is feeling? You can tell a little bit by the picture, but from the words. How long before you sail? Sarah asked, dropping her eyes to the ground. If you are dropping your eyes to the ground, how do you think that you're normally feeling in that time? Just food for thought. All right, and we're going to go to Page 5. 3 days, Sarah whispered. And then how many years to follow? I shall return before you know it, Sarah. Why, I wager you and Aunt Mary will not miss me at all. Sarah's father smiled at the stern woman at his daughter's side, but she didn't smile back. Something as warm as a smile rarely graced Aunt Marie's face. My heart tells me differently, said Sarah, gripping her father's hand tightly. Please take me with you. So here's Aunt Marie. What can you tell by the way that she looks right now, how she's feeling about this? So it seems like Sarah is going to be staying with Aunt Marie while Sarah's father is gone. I wager you and Aunt Marie will not miss me at all. A wager is just like a bet. So what he's saying is, I bet you and Aunt Marie will not miss me at all. How do you think that Sarah is feeling? How does the author show it in this paragraph here, in the bottom one? Gripping her father's hand tightly. And we're going to go to page 6. Here's another picture of Sarah. First paragraph. Her father reached over and pushed a loose strand of golden hair behind Sarah's ear and ran his warm hand down her cheek. Have you not trodden this path enough of late? You know India is no place for a girl, nor is the ocean. India sounds wondrous, said Sarah wistfully. It is a barbarous place with barbarous people, mark my words. It is duty alone that drives me, Sarah's father insisted. He shook his head. There is no more to be said. So, she wants to go to India, it looks like, at least to be with her father. It sounds wondrous, she said, right? But he says India is no place for a girl, nor is the ocean, because he is taking a boat to get there. That's what Christopher Columbus was trying to do, is take a boat to find another passage to India. He says it's a barbarous place with barbarous people. What that means, barbarous, is like barbarian, like very uncivilized or crude or mean. So that's what he's saying about India. Does he really believe that? Maybe. But he also could just be trying to, tell Sarah, look, it's going to be bad. I don't want to go. I'm only going because it's my duty. So we don't know if he really believes that yet. But he could just be saying that to make her feel not as bad about not going, right? And we're going to go to page 7. And here is the carriage. Looks like it's taking off for the trip. Then fare thee well, said Sarah, failing to keep the bitterness from her voice. Failing to keep the bitterness from her voice. Go to your duty, she muttered. Let us not part on such terms, Sarah, her father whispered softly, his expression sinking. He bent down and kissed her on the cheek. It wasn't until the coach disappeared over the hill and Aunt Marie ordered her to come inside that Sarah realized she had not even returned the kiss. So Sarah's upset. She, A, doesn't want her father to go, and B, if he does have to go, she wants to go with him. But it's just something that can't happen. He, for whatever reason, decided that she needs to stay home. And so she's upset about it, and he's saying, look, let us not part on such terms. What he's basically saying is, look, I'm going away on a trip. I don't want to leave for this trip and have you be mad at me. Like, let's leave on good terms, And so he bent down and kissed her cheek, and she didn't even realize that she didn't kiss his cheek back until he was already gone. So, and up here, there's bitterness in her voice. Go to your duty, she muttered. So she is not happy about her father leaving for this trip, right? This trip to India. All right, now we are going to go to page 8. And these little stars right here, let me go back a page real quick. So I haven't seen these so far yet in this book. Okay, just what I thought. So these little stars here, if you guys think back to Night of the Spadefoot Toad, occasionally they would have like a little the little image of a toad, right, in between certain paragraphs. That's a page break. And what that means is it's kind of the change of scene. So this, just in the same way that a movie would. If you're watching a movie, one scene might be at a gas station. And they talk and something happens at the gas station. And then in the very next scene, maybe the character's at home. Right? So that's the same thing in a book. It's a page break, letting you know that this is a new scene. So she is no longer standing watching the carriage go over the hill and her father disappear into the, into his journey. So, page 8. With her father gone little more than a day, the hours became a tomb. Dark clouds and rain drained any remaining cheer. Sarah knew then that she had to break free and follow her father or risk withering away till there was nothing left of her. It was better to take her chances at sea, she thought, and as she pondered, a plan came to her. She would need to act quickly, though. Her father's ship, the Trade's Increase, would be soon setting sail. So here is her, staring out the window, and she is miserable without him. The house became a tomb. I think I said hours, but the house is now a tomb. She feels trapped in it, and she cannot escape, because she's planning to escape. Dark clouds and rain drained any remaining cheer. So similar to our state, when it's sunny out, a lot of people tend to feel more happy, a little more upbeat, because the sun is shining and the birds are out and it's more cheerful weather, right? Here, Sarah, her father left. She's upset she can't go. She's going to miss him. And now, as you can see out the window, it's raining. And just like in our state, when it rains and it's cloudy and dark and just ugly weather outside, a lot of people feel a little bit sad or a little bit somber. It makes you, just a little bit more sad to have the weather. So that weather combined with her dad leaving are making her extremely sad and miss him a lot. So her father's ship is called the Trade's Increase, is going to be setting sail soon. So she knows that she wants to see him again, and she wants to break free and follow her father, or risk withering away until there's nothing left. So she feels that if she does not leave and go find him, that she's not going to be able to make it. Like, she is so sad that she feels that she has to go back and meet up with her father, or try to go onto his ship, or meet him where he's going, right? She really, really wants to be with him. All right, so page 9. Henry's spare breeches and tunic were on the clothesline. He was taller than Sarah, and broader too, but they would do. Sarah also knew Henry left his shoes, doublet, and cap by the back door at night. She admired the fine doublet, but it was too grand for her disguise. As she took the other clothes, she hoped he would forgive her. She would take the pennies left by her father and some bread and cheese from the kitchen, and that would be just enough to get her to Gravesend Port. So, here is a picture of the clothes that she's getting. What is she doing here? First, she decides, all right, look, I'm going to try to find a way to make my way to my father's boat and set sail with him. That's what I want to do. But she feels that she has to put on a disguise. And because she doesn't want to be noticed walking through town or trying to get to the dock by anybody who may make her turn back. So she's wearing a disguise in hopes that nobody will recognize her, and by the time they do, hopefully it'll already be too late and the ship will have set sailed with her on it. So that's kind of her plan. She takes some pennies, some bread and some cheese, and now she is on her way to Gravesend Port, where the Trade's Increase will be taking off very soon. And that is where we are going to stop for today. So just to recap on the questions for Beyond the Horizon, pages 1 through 9, the reading-writing task. What different feelings do Sarah and her father have about India? Let's look for evidence that helps the reader identify these feelings. On page 6, Sarah's father says that India is no place for a girl. What other evidence can you find? And the text-to-self connection. If one of your parents or guardians was leaving to go somewhere for a very long time, how would you feel? Would you feel brave enough to sneak out of your home and follow them? Write a creative paragraph or two about how the story would start, and be sure to use sensory details. How do you feel as you're sneaking away? Where is the setting? Will it be dangerous? And the extension. How do the actions of Sarah and her father show their different feelings? And as always, there is, you can pull these up on the ELA questions and tasks section of the newsletter. There is also a new video I just added on the extra ELA videos for you guys to check out. It is a real 16th century Spanish pirate ship. It's kind of cool. You guys might want to check it out. And that is all we have for today. Thank you guys for following along. And as always, please send me your work on Seesaw. Send it to me via email. Let me know questions that you have or something that you noticed about the story. You can ask me questions about your text-to-self connection, maybe how to start it off, how to use sensory details, all of those things. Feel free to write me on Seesaw. Leave your thoughts about the story so far in the comment section below on our YouTube channel. And please don't read ahead. I want you guys to stop for today on page 9 so that way we can kind of find out together exactly what Sarah and her journey will look like as the story continues. And that's it for today. Thank you guys for following along with me. Until next time.